The Warm and Healthy Homes Fund is a partnership between Energy Action Scotland and Tyne & Chagall. Tyne & Chagall was chosen for the delivery of this project because we are accepted as trusted intermediaries in the Western Isles. That means that we have an excellent relationship with various partners and delivery contractors to ensure that we can enter people's properties safely, and we can do that in a trusted manner, and people recognise us, and we can therefore deliver effectively. The Western Isles has a real problem with fuel poverty. We have a large number of people, around 60% of the population, who suffer from fuel poverty. They simply can't afford to heat their home well. And so this project, the Warm and Healthy Homes Fund, has helped us to go into a number of people and tackle that real issue.
Murdo was admitted into hospital with a bacterial influenza. Whilst he was in the hospital, we were sort of taking care of the house and making sure everything was fine for him. I came in on the Wednesday afternoon and noticed that the boiler had burst and there was water all over the kitchen floor. Phoned yourselves, to which you came round and surveyed the work, and the plumber arrived as well. So really basically, from me phoning you 2:45 on Wednesday afternoon, all the paperwork and the surveys were done by about 4 o'clock, I would say.
Well, what happened was TIG phoned me, and it just so happened that I wasn't far away, and probably within about a quarter of an hour, both myself and the TIG representative met at the property. We ascertained that the combustion chamber on the boiler had completely burst, so the boiler was no longer serviceable. We did a quick survey of the property, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon we had the new boiler on its way coming from Inverness.
We then contacted the hospital as Murdo was due to get discharged on the Thursday. They then suggested that Murdo would stay in until the heating was fixed. So they kept him in then over the weekend, and the new boiler was replaced on the Monday morning, and Murdo was discharged on the Monday afternoon and came back to a lovely warm house.
Tyne & Chagall over the years have developed very close working relationships with a number of key partners, heating contractors, so on. And one of the great benefits of that is it gives us the ability to be able to respond to emergency cases when they come in. And such as happened here in the case that we're looking at with this particular install. This happened in the home of Murdo McLean, who was about to be released from hospital, but that now there was the issue of the boiler burst, which meant that Murdo was in hospital, essentially blocking a bed. So that gave obviously an added priority for us to try and respond to the case as soon as possible. We were able to order the material that day, and the actual install took place on the following Monday, which meant that by mid-afternoon Jamie was complete, the job was finished, and Murdo was able to be released from hospital that day, thereby freeing up a bed for use.
I was really very happy that I would be able to get home. Although I delayed a day or two, it was well worth the wait, and I was really, when I got back, the house was nice and warm, and I'm really very happy about it all.
Over the last few years, the Integration Joint Board has had a major priority in tackling delayed discharge. And delayed discharge is where somebody is in hospital when they could be back in their own home. And the reason we ascribe so much importance to this work is that the delay in hospital comes at a significant human cost as well as a financial cost. The human cost comes in as much as people who are in hospital, particularly if they're older and frail, can oftentimes experience debilitation in terms of their capabilities, and that's why we want to get people home as soon as possible. So over the last period, it's been great working in partnership with TIG to make sure that we have been can be creative in using the Warm and Healthy Homes Fund to create opportunities for us to support people's discharge from hospital. And just the other day I was hearing about an example where somebody was supported to go home as a result of changes to that individual's house. So through the fund we were able to fix the gentleman's heating system, which allowed for his discharge back home. So that's a very positive impact in terms of that individual's health and well-being, and shows you just how important the creative use of this fund is.
Today we're going to see a client who lives in South Harris, in the village of Scarisda, which is approximately 55-60 miles from Stornoway, about an hour and a half drive. I went down and surveyed the property, and we were able to offer her a new central heating boiler. When the technical survey was conducted, it was discovered that a new oil tank was also required, and with a discussion with the funders we were able to provide a new central heating boiler and an oil tank, and Margaret was absolutely thrilled to bits to get a functioning heating system, again having been without one for so many months. And it's understandable given when we see just exactly how remote and how exposed the property is.
Táin Shigal has been delivering heating schemes for over 20 years in the islands, but the outcomes of this short life scheme are really quite impressive, and quite unlike what we've seen working on other schemes, because here we've gone to work with customers who were unable to get help from any other schemes that were available at the time. We've gone in, and the improvements we've made to these people's lives really have been impressive. Some of the case studies that we're compiling show just some of these improvements, and it's been a real pleasure for us to be able to deliver this scheme on working in partnership with Energy Action Scotland. The Warmer Healthy Homes Fund is one that we would like to see extended, because we think that what the delivery of the scheme has demonstrated is that there is a real need out there for this sort of funding to be available for people.